What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Super happy to have you guys here and thanks for participating because I'm answering all your assumptions about me. I put up an Instagram story earlier today, honestly probably a couple hours ago. I saw a couple other YouTubers do this where people drop their assumptions about you and then you kind of address them. I have no idea what to expect, but I'm excited to read them. I haven't looked at them yet. I wanted that element of surprise. I'm filming this from a hotel room right now because I was here for NBA All-Star Weekend and I have a little bit of free time because I finished my work early, so I figured I would film a YouTube video. Super long story, but I was stuck in Chicago last night. Didn't even think I was gonna make it to All-Star Weekend, but we are here. I did a Q&A for one of my first YouTube videos and you guys seem to really like it, so I'm gonna do a similar style but with assumptions. All right, let's see what we got here. I only posted this 2 hours ago, so for my loyal fans who answered quickly, I'm going to read those ones. All right, so we got a decent amount. This is what we're working with here. Right off the bat, I'm telling you I'm not gonna read a lot of these. Okay, I like this one. It says, you got into social media as just a fun thing, but blew up and here you are. So I wouldn't necessarily say that I blew up, but I did just get into social media for fun. That assumption is correct. I talked about this a little bit in my Q&A video, but basically I started posting on social media whenever I transferred to Pitt. My story and everything that went along with it and being in a better place. I guess you could say I started to build a little bit of a platform. I remember when I first hit 10,000 followers on Instagram and I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I hit 10K. Like, that was a big deal at the time. So it is kind of crazy to see how far I've come since that moment because I guess I really have been content creating for about 2.5, 3 years now, which is crazy to think because when I first started, I never would imagine that I would be doing things like being flown out for All-Star Weekend or the NWSL Championship. Like, it's literally such a crazy world that we live in. Like, I'm aware of it. What I do is crazy and what other content creators do is wild, and the fact that there's people with bigger platforms who do even crazier things is crazy to me. But I love what I do. It's super fun. Great experiences, great opportunities that you can naturally pass tests without studying. It depends on the subject. Like algebra, somehow really good at, but when it comes to anything with like history or English, I am not very strong in those subjects. So I would definitely say it depends on the subject, but I honestly am maybe smarter than I look. I don't know if I look not smart, but I got my master's degree and I finished with a 3.8 GPA. So if anybody thinks I'm not intelligent, I promise that I am. Or at least I like to think I am. That you are difficult to date. You can ask my boyfriend this. I don't think I'm difficult to date. I think that I was really picky in who I date. I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily difficult to date. I'm very loyal. I'm very low maintenance. I probably come off as being high maintenance, but I promise that I'm not. You can ask my boyfriend. But I don't think I'm difficult to date. You are secretly really tall. I get this question all the time on all of my posts asking my height, and I don't really know why people ask that question. I'm actually 5'6" and 3/4. Like, I usually say that I'm 5'7", but I'm 5'6" and 3/4. So I guess you could say I'm a little bit above the average height, but I'm not extremely tall. You and Adam were dating. Me and Adam were never dating. We were just friends who made content together. So I'm just gonna address that once and hopefully not again. I don't know why people always have to assume that any guy I make videos with, that I'm dating them. Me and Adam were never dating. We were just friends who made content together. That was it. Your hair is naturally black. My hair is actually not naturally black. And to be honest, I wouldn't even really consider this black. I mean, I know it's really dark, but it's definitely not black. My natural hair color is really dark to the point where you probably couldn't tell the difference if I didn't dye it, but I just get it dyed one color to kind of even it out because I don't like when I have different highlights or different colors throughout my hair. But when I get it done, I ask for the darkest shade above black. So technically, guys, whoever thinks I have black hair, you're wrong because it's dark brown. Just a really, 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 really dark brown. You take a long time to get ready. This is gonna surprise a lot of people because I actually don't. This morning I woke up and I got ready probably in like 25, 30 minutes because last night I showered and I braided my hair, which is actually how it's wavy. But I do that because when I know I have to be somewhere the next day, all I have to do in the morning is take out the braid and spray it with some hairspray. So that eliminates having to do anything with my hair. That takes like 5 minutes, if that. And I got my makeup routine down to probably like 15 minutes. Honestly, probably closer to 10. I don't wear a ton of makeup. I feel like when I was in high school, I would take so long to get ready. Now, honestly, I take probably a fraction of the time. And I am really proud of that. You have extremely high dating standards. This is true. This is 100% true. And I'm gonna tell you why. I was in a 5-year relationship, and I'm not saying he's a terrible person because he's not. I don't have any bad blood. I'll just say we didn't see eye to eye on things. And it wasn't even because of him. I think from going on dates with different guys, I was just able to recognize what I don't want in a relationship. I remember probably like 2 years ago, I'm sitting in my room and I hear my brother on the phone with his girlfriend. It's my little brother. He is an angel. And I hear him just on the phone, like comforting her, and he always goes and buys her flowers, and he's just like the kindest soul. And I told myself, which it kind of sounds weird now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm not gonna get into a relationship until I'm treated the way that my brother treats his girlfriend. And I can finally say that I'm super happy in my relationship. I am treated honestly better than I even knew that I could ever be treated. The girl's in love. Weird, I know. My pap literally calls me and he'll say, you know, Emily, we just didn't think you were ever gonna find anyone. We were both on the same page that I was gonna be single forever. You could have gone D1 in another sport. I don't know. I guess if I didn't play soccer all my life, or if I played another sport on top of soccer, then maybe. I made the middle school volleyball team, but they didn't let me play because one day conflicted with soccer. So I am convinced I probably would have been a decent volleyball player, although maybe I don't have the height for that. I did love volleyball though. I was really excited to play and then they didn't let me. But I feel like if I trained for another sport, there's a chance I could have been either a dual sport athlete or I could have went for another sport. But you're a music addict. That's actually funny because I never really got into music until I went to college. And that's only because when I was at college and I would go to these little parties and get-togethers and whatnot, they would start playing this music and I was like the only one who had no idea what they were playing. Like I've never really been into rap, but I almost like forced myself to like rap music. So I knew the music going on at parties and I could sing and dance with my friends and everything, but I wouldn't say I'm really a music addict. If I needed to, I could go through an entire workout at the gym with no music. And I know that kind of sounds crazy, but right now I listen to more R&B music. I do listen to country music. I'm trying to get more cultured, but I've always listened to country music growing up. I'm just getting more into it again. But I kind of like all music. I like rap, I like country, I like R&B, but I wouldn't call myself a music addict. You were once a gymnast. Well, I was never a gymnast, but I did do competitive cheerleading until I was like 12 years old. So it's probably the reason why I could still do all my little flips and whatnot. Competitive cheerleading is no joke. I know everybody says cheer is not a sport, but competitive cheerleading is not a joke. Good one. You want to be a positive example for young female athletes. Yes, this is like the biggest thing on my platform that I want to get across. Like, I want to be a good example. I want people to feel like that they can reach out to me. I think the most difficult part about that is I do get DMs from young athletes and I so badly want to help them and be as responsive as possible, but sometimes the messages just get lost. So I'm trying to figure out a way where I can connect to younger athletes, not just female, because I've had male athletes reach out to me as well. But I would love to figure out a way that I can connect to my audience a little bit more, but still trying to figure that out. You could be an NFL kicker. Honestly, guys, probably not. I can kick pretty far, but the reality is I probably couldn't actually kick in the NFL. There's some big guys that'd be running at me and a very large crowd, which means a lot of pressure. It would be a cool experience, but I just don't think that's realistic. And I'm not trying to train for that by any means. You're good at every sport. I say it a lot because, you know, clickbait and whatnot on YouTube videos and it's social media, but I would say I'm decent at every sport, but I'm not good at basketball and golf. Those are two things I'm just not good at. I'm decent, but not good, if that makes sense. If I try really hard and I have some practice, I could probably get better. I just think that I have pretty good athleticism overall, where I'm at least decent in every sport, but could use some practice in sports such as basketball and golf. You're dating a Savannah Banana. That is true, guys. My boyfriend does play for the Savannah Bananas. We'll have to do a story time on how we met and everything, but he does play for the Savannah Bananas. And if you guys don't know what that is, they're like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball, basically. He's really good at what he does. People love him. The fans love him. They call him the heartthrob of the Bananas because he definitely 100% is. Swept me off my feet, and that's why we're dating. So yes, he does play for the Savannah Bananas, and he doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to his first game in Savannah because I'm surprising him tomorrow. Gotta refresh it here. The type of girl to wear socks and sandals. The only time I would ever wear socks and sandals is when I played soccer, and you would wear your soccer socks with your little slides. So if those are considered socks and sandals, then yeah. You only date jocks. I wouldn't say I necessarily only date jocks, but I will say I've definitely only really ever dated athletes. And that's only because being an athlete myself, I just feel like that's who I naturally have gravitated towards. It has nothing to do with their job or how much money they have or their status or anything like that. It's just more so, for me, I went through a lot of different things in my athletic career, and it's important to me to have somebody who understands what I went through, because what I did go through wasn't necessarily easy. So I think for me, it has always been important to find somebody who can understand me and my career, my athletic career. And I love going to the field for a fun date. I'm a very active person, so I love being able to do different sports, go to the field, go for a run, go to the gym together. So I think that's the only reason why I've really only dated athletes. I'm gonna be honest, social media is kind of hard sometimes because I know I asked for it. I asked for people to make assumptions about me, but some of the things people write are just not very nice. That you're the life of the party. Also, this was confirmed. So this was from somebody that I've met before. And yeah, I guess you could say I'm the life of the party, but I actually think I'm out of my party girl era. And I'm not mad about it, but I used to go to all these different events and parties. I would go to Miami, I would want to go to LA. And honestly, none of that just really excites me like it used to. And I'm totally okay with that. I think it's because I'm getting a little bit older and I'm starting to kind of see what's really important in life, and going to these events in LA and parties or whatever it might be, they really don't matter, because the main reason people go to these things is to be like, oh, look at me, I was here. And go and post pictures and stuff. And as much as I love content creating and going to these things are really cool, I hate that social media is me, 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 me. And look, here we are. You guys are getting a full 10, 20-minute video on me. And I love to talk to you guys, I really do, but I do hate the social media aspect where it's all about yourself. Who can go to the coolest events, who can do the coolest things, who can go to the best parties, who can meet the coolest people, and I hate that. And believe me, that was 100% me last year. I will own up to it. But I've finally recognized that those things really don't matter, and in the big picture, nobody really cares because everybody's focused on themselves. When I go out, I do have a good time. And I like to socialize. I don't really drink a whole lot just because I feel like I'm somebody who can socialize without alcohol. And it's not that I don't go out anymore because I have a boyfriend. It has nothing to do with that, because he's even more the life of the party than I am. So we definitely have a good time when we go out together. It's just not a priority to me like it used to be anymore. And I am really proud of that. Are you Italian? I'm actually not. I get asked this quite a lot. I am Irish and Slovakian, which the Irish piece of it really throws people off because I am pretty tan like year round. Obviously right now I'm probably at my palest, which means that I get a lot darker than this in the summer. So I could see where people assume that I'm Italian. You are a fitness model. I would love to be a fitness model, but the issue is when I was in Pittsburgh, I was actually with a modeling agency, and they called me and told me they wanted me to cut my hair, dye my hair, and all these different things where I was like, I'm absolutely not doing that. So they wanted me to change my appearance. Like, I understand they're not wrong when they say like my hair would probably cover a product that they're trying to sell or advertise. But also at the time I was still starting my social media, and I was like, I'm not gonna change what I look like for anyone. So I actually parted ways with the agency right after that. I was just not having that. And also another thing that scares me about fitness modeling is I feel like people start to become almost like obsessed with their bodies. And I like to go and have an ice cream cone whenever I want one. I don't want to have to worry about what shoot I have coming up, so I can't go to Dairy Queen. So I'll probably never do fitness modeling. I've done stuff with Dick's Sporting Goods and soccer related content and shoots, but I probably won't do anything more. You make a lot of money. So I'm not gonna sit here and talk about how much money's in my bank account or how much I do or don't make, but I will say I see comments from people saying go get a real job. But honestly, I make great money doing what I'm doing right now. I know that this isn't a long-term thing, but I'm gonna capitalize on it right now while I'm young and take advantage of it, because I do make good enough money where I was able to go and get my first big girl apartment, little 2-bedroom apartment. I bought my own car. I'm doing really well for myself at 24 years old. So when I see comments like people saying, go get a real job, it really makes me mad, because it doesn't make sense to do that for me right now. Eventually, I know I'm gonna have to work and do something besides just posting little videos of me on social media. I'm aware. For right now, I'm ignoring those comments, and I'm gonna keep making my videos because I love it, I have fun with it, and it's paying the bills. There are some people on here who said very nice compliments rather than making assumptions, so I just want to say thank you to all of you. My favorite color is red. That's actually true. My favorite color is red. When I went to Rutgers, I was so excited that their uniforms had red in them, because literally one of my favorite colors for the longest time. When I transferred to Pitt, I wasn't thrilled about the uniform color because for some reason blue is like my least favorite color. I don't mind the different shades of blue outside of navy blue. Like, you will probably never see me wear anything navy blue unless I have to. You did cross country. I actually never did cross country. Well, I take that back. When I was in like 5th or 6th grade, I tried it, and after the first practice, I'm not gonna lie guys, I didn't go back. I'm just not a distance runner. Even now, I won't run past 3 miles for a workout. I don't know what it is, I just can't do it. I like doing sprints. I was more of a sprinter. I think that's also because when I played soccer, I was a center forward. So I did a lot more explosive runs rather than a midfielder who just ran around all the time. So I do run, but I'm trying to get into longer distance running, but I just don't know how. This one's funny because everybody says this. If I saw you out in public with no prior knowledge, I would probably be scared of you. Guys, I promise if anybody ever sees me, like today somebody slid up on my Snapchat that they saw me in the airport. If anybody ever sees me in public, please just come say hello. I promise I am very friendly, and I don't think I have RBF. If you don't know what RBF is, look it up. I don't think I have RBF, but I could see how I might come off as intimidating. But I promise, I love people. I love talking to people. I think I get that from my dad because he talks to anyone and everyone. I'm a big people person, and I promise I'm not scary. I'm sorry if I appear that way. I just really don't know how to change it. I want to be more approachable. Before I close out this video, I need your guys' advice. I know I just talked about the whole thing where my modeling agency wanted me to change my hair, how people would be scared to come up to me, and this has nothing to do with either of those things, but I have been going back and forth on whether or not I should get my hair lighter. So my hair is pretty dark right now, as you guys can see. Some people think that it's black. It's not black. But I actually used to have lighter hair when I was younger, and I think when I was probably a senior in college is when I started to dye my hair darker, and it's been dark ever since. But I kind of miss it being light. Like when I'm tan, I feel like I can really rock like a balayage or some highlights, but I don't know. I could always dye it back darker if I don't like it. I just don't want to damage my hair. So let me know in the comments what you guys think, if I should keep my dark hair or if you think that I should add a little bit of color to it. And worst case, down the road, I can always dye it darker again. But yeah, thanks everyone for participating if you did. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really supports me and supports my channel. I'm looking forward to making some more videos for you guys this year. I'm gonna be moving in 3 weeks, so I'm hoping to make some moving vlogs, apartment reveals, and maybe a tour of my new city. I don't know. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
Every single day I feel the pressure. Double up the work, let's make it extra. Working so my mother get